What's up guys, Raj here. In this video, I am standing because I think it's a bit more comfortable. I actually found a really neat piece of nature here. It's got like a footbridge and just like some trees and stuff. So I thought this would be a cool place to record. So this is where I will be recording the video. And I've got the sun out. It's like 6 o'clock here in Melbourne. And it's nearing summer, so we're getting pretty good weather, but except for the pollen, that's just annoying. But it is what it is. So in this video, I want to talk about 3 things which I think will help you achieve more in your life. These are 3 things which I've employed myself in my life to achieve things like getting an AI engineer job. So I wanted to record these things and share it to you. Now, this is by no means me telling you this stuff as like an experienced person. And I think this video is kind of me talking to myself as well, because there are definitely some areas in my life where I can incorporate these things where I am currently not. So I think this will be an interesting video for you and for me as well to look back to. So let's get right into the video. To start things off, I just want to share a book I've been reading, and it's called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And this is a really interesting book because it's about military tactics. So tactics you would actually use in a battle, and these tactics were pretty well used in the time when this was written. The book isn't super relevant in terms of the actual content of the book, but I think the deeper meaning behind the book is still relevant. And there's specifically a passage in this book which I would like to share with you. And it goes like this. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Now, while that passage in itself carries a lot of meaning, I think it would be more useful if I replace the word enemy with goal. And let's focus on the first and last sentences. So, saying it again, if you know the goal and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know neither the goal nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. So the 3 things I want to talk about in this video fall under the nice acronym of GPS. Now, a real-life GPS, or a global positioning system, helps you find your destination in real life, which is a physical destination. But the GPS, which I'll be talking about in this video, will help you find any destination you want in your life. And by destination, I mean your aspirations, your dreams, etc. So I think these 3 things will really help you. Now, judging from the first passage which I read to you, I think you can already guess what the first letter in GPS stands for, and that is goals. Now, one of the most influential thinkers in the space of goals is Brian Tracy. He's actually the author of this book, No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline. But there's this quote by Brian Tracy, which I think is really relevant to the topic of the discussion today. And let me just read it out to you. People with clear written goals accomplish far more in a shorter period of time than people without them could ever imagine. So what is a goal? A goal is simply a destination or an outcome. So for example, a person climbing a mountain, the goal of that person would be to reach the summit. Or a person running a race, their goal would be to finish the race and perhaps even come first. Now, having goals is so important because if you don't have a destination, how can you possibly take steps to reach it? And one of the concepts that relates to having goals and achieving your goals is beginning with the end in mind. And this is actually the title of one of my favorite books. It's this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I highly recommend reading this book. It's a great read. And this beginning with the end in mind is actually one of the titles of one of the chapters in this book. And in this chapter, the author says that to begin with the end in mind means to have a clear understanding of your destination. Let's take the construction of a home. Before even one nail is hammered or even one brick is laid, the homeowner first crafts a mental image of how they want the house to look like. So how many rooms they want, what kind of bedrooms do they want, how many bathrooms do they want, what kind of material or exterior do you want, what color bricks do you want to use, stuff like that. So you as the homeowner are crafting a detailed mental image of how you want the final result to look like. And you work rigorously with your mind until you have a clear picture of what you would like your house to look like. And only then are construction plans drawn, blueprints are designed, and then the actual construction of the house takes place. So begin with the end in mind is based on the principle that all things are created twice. First a mental creation, and second a physical creation. And this is beautifully captured in the quote by Wallace D. Wattles. And the quote goes like this: "There is nothing in the world that has not first existed in the mind of man." So the first step in achieving anything is to have a clearly defined, well-written goal. And when I say well-written, I mean physically written down, as in you should write down your goals. Now, it's already been shown by multiple researches and studies that writing down your goals, or people who write down their goals, are far more likely to achieve them. Because writing down your goals forces you to articulate and clarify exactly what you want. And that helps transform your vague aspirations into detailed and concrete objectives. Now, I have a really good example in my life where writing down my goals really helped me achieve what I wanted. And this is when I dropped out to become an AI engineer. Now, after dropping out, I knew I had to make this work, right? Because I dropped out, this is it. I've been coding for the past couple of years, and I need to get this job as an AI engineer or a software engineer, and I need to make this work. So what I did is I wrote down on a piece of paper exactly what I wanted. And the key is to write it as if you already have it, in the present tense. So I wrote down on a piece of paper, I am working as an AI engineer, as a full-time AI engineer, working at a company in Melbourne, making a certain salary and enjoying a certain lifestyle. Now, I wrote that down on a piece of paper and I stuck it on my wall so I could see it every day. And I also made a digital version of it and I stuck that as my laptop's wallpaper. And making your goals visible is a really, really neat trick, because every time you see that goal, you'll question yourself and you'll ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now helping me achieve my goal? And that really helps you stay on track and keep accountable. So having clearly defined, well-written goals is the first step and is the first letter in the acronym of GPS. So what's the second step, or the second letter? That is planning, or plans. Now, Brian Tracy, whom I mentioned earlier in the video, has another amazing quote, and that is, "A goal without a plan is just a dream." Now, if a goal is what you want, a plan is how you intend to achieve that goal, or more specifically, the series of steps to achieve that goal. For example, if my goal was to create a YouTube video, the series of steps I would do to achieve that would be to write a script, record footage, edit the video, find a thumbnail, and then publish it on the YouTube website. Now, a plan is really important because even though you might have a crystal clear goal, there's no point in having that goal if you don't have a series of actionable steps which you plan to execute. If you look at all the world-class athletes like Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt, Serena Williams, Roger Federer, all of these athletes have one thing in common, and that is they have a detailed training plan. And a training plan can include things like what muscles they want to target, what techniques they want to focus on that day. So they'll have a detailed training plan which will guide what they do throughout the day so that they can perform at their best and master the skills which they need to. Now, when I was in school, I used to participate in public speaking competitions, and I was fairly good at it. And there's actually something I used, and this is something my dad kind of gave me advice on, is how to prepare a training plan for public speaking. So essentially what I did is I took a piece of paper and I wrote the days on the horizontal, I wrote the days horizontally and the number of times I wanted to practice vertically. So let's say the plan was 2 weeks before the competition, for every day, I'm going to practice my speech 5 times or 10 times. So what I would do is I would write the 14 days up to the competition, and I would write the 5 times that I wanted to practice my speech. And for each day, for each time I wanted to practice my speech, I can just tick it off on the paper. And this technique was literally game-changing. It's so simple, but it's so effective because it keeps you accountable, it helps you track your progress. And that's the value of having a plan, is because even though you have a goal, you need to have a detailed, visible, tangible plan where you can track your progress, because you can't manage what you can't measure. So once you've clarified your plan, you now have a series of actionable steps which you can take to achieve your goal. So what's the final step? What's the final letter in the acronym GPS? It's strategy. And I like to view strategy as the small, tiny things that help you gear yourself towards achieving your goal. And I think the best way to explain this is with an example. So let's say you're studying for an exam. Your goal is to get an A+ on the exam, and you've created a plan for yourself. You're going to study this one textbook for 1 hour each day. So how does strategy play into this? Strategy could be things like putting a notebook, pen, eraser, pencil, and calculator on your desk, ready for you. So as soon as you come back from school, your stuff is already there and you're ready to start studying. Or it could be just simply putting your phone on Do Not Disturb mode, or leaving a bookmark in your book so you can pick up from when you last left off. So it's the little things that make it easier for you to achieve your goals. So in essence, you're helping yourself. You're making it more convenient for you to achieve your goals and execute your plan. If your goal is to finish reading a book and your plan is to read a chapter per day, a strategy could be to leave the book on your desk or leave the book next to your bed so you never forget to read that chapter each day. So those are the 3 things which I think will help you achieve more in your life, and they come under the nice acronym of GPS. They are goals, plans, and strategy. The goal being your clearly defined, well-written objective, the plan being a series of actionable steps that you're going to take to achieve your goal, and strategy being the little things that make it more convenient for you to execute your plan and therefore achieve your goal. So that's it for the video. That's all I want to share in this video. Like I said, this video is kind of me talking to myself as well, because there are definitely areas in my life where I have not implemented this and where I should implement this. So this definitely helped me out, kind of speaking these words out loud. But I also do hope it helped someone out there who's watching this video, and I hope you got some valuable gold nuggets from this video. Even if it just helps out one person, that'll make my day. So yeah, thank you for watching. In this video, I mentioned a couple of books. So The Art of War by Sun Tzu, great book. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is definitely a must read for anyone. Like, this is literally, you should have this in your bookshelf. This is definitely a must read. And then also, No Excuses by Brian Tracy. So if you actually follow through the things in this video, creating a goal, writing down your goal, creating a plan, and thinking of some strategies to help you achieve that goal. So now that you have this GPS right, the only thing left to do is to execute. You know, there's no point in having a GPS, and now I'm talking about the actual GPS, the physical GPS. So there's no point in having a GPS if you don't use it. There's no point in painting a masterpiece if no one views it. So the final step in the process of actually achieving anything you want is execution. Once you have the goal, once you've laid out a plan for yourself, you have to execute on that plan. So go out there and achieve your goals. Okay, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the video in the comments, and subscribe if you want to stay tuned for my upcoming videos. You can find me on Instagram and LinkedIn. I will be there so you can message me directly. And until next time, keep winning. Peace.